I said yes to the dress, y'all. Nah, not yet. Not yet for that one. I said yes to myself. So this voice video is about why I decided to say yes to myself and started my fashion blog. So as you guys know, or a couple of people know, I left toxic pharma and I wanted to kind of like get my life back. I already had a background in fashion since I was younger. I used to work in different temp agencies. My first role was like after receptions. I think it was like the first time was like sample coordinator at like a fashion company. So I was a sample girl. I was a girl that, you know, my name was like on all of the sample packages. They was coming in seasonal or weekly, depending on the shoot, all that kind of stuff. Making sure that the clothes are in the bag, counting them, making sure that the inventory makes sense, going into the room, you know, putting them up on a garment rack. That was me doing all of that legwork, right? So that also opened the door for like my name would be on all of the different press release kits, right? Like press release, if they're sending, like who can we send an email to? It would be my name that they're sending everything to, sending the correspondence to for like a show, a dinner, anything that has to do with any PR stuff that has to do with samples, bringing all of that stuff in. So that's why when people ask me, you know, like at this stage in my life, like, oh, how do you always know about sample sales and this and that? Yeah, it's from working in the industry. It's from working in different industries. It's from helping out at different temp agencies. And like I said, being that sample girl, also being a receptionist at different companies, getting invited to the dinners. I always had, you know, favor with God and like those kind of positions, I feel. And also like, you know, my style, I guess they already saw it on me. That, you know, I just had the style on me as well, and I was always very like organized as far as work stuff. Now, am I organized at home? No. My closets are organized though, right? Because it's like your heart is what you care about as well. So yeah, so that's how that turned out. So because I already had the know-with-all for that, and also I was helping out with like, always helping out with like the e-commerce photo shoots or whatever, like what's going online. We know that e-commerce is not a new thing. That's been around for, you know, years and years and years. So helping out with all of that kind of stuff too. So like being the person that kind of is doing every role that could possibly be in fashion. Helping the buyers out, like looking at the catalogs, things that's coming in the mail, seeing what looks good, having a good eye for style, all of that kind of stuff. So it's like, okay, I'm out here after being laid off in the pandemic, like a lot of people, you know, marketing is usually the first to get cut, but marketing is also the first to get hired, right? It's like a catch-22. First one in, first one out, because like you, no matter what you're doing, you need marketing. You need that marketing budget. So that's how that happened. So basically, I was still trying to say, all right, I still want to get another role in fashion, this and this and that. You know, I already know I was supposed to have my promotion, all of that stuff going on. And every company, you know, it looks different. And different companies, maybe they have a different way that they like to do things. But I still know like A to Z of like how the pipeline should look, like what needs to happen as far as the sea shipping, if it's going the sea versus the airplane, like all that stuff, knowing the cost, like it's a whole business, you know. So I was like, okay, I can help out with that. So I was interviewing, and mind you, this is a time where like everyone and their mother is laid off. I think it was like 47 million people were laid off from work, right? So it's like no one's really thinking about fashion is not the need right now. So any reconstructing of roles or any money, they are dealing with people that, you know, was a fashion director and now, you know, they were laid off. So they're interviewing for a role that I'm interviewing for. You know what I mean? So like, that's what your competition is. The more people that's out of work, the more competition you have. So I just got tired of like the back and forth, or like I get hired for something for, I think my first gig, it's like I worked with like Shop Style, and I helped them like do their website over, their whole rebrand. It was only for 12 weeks, which was fine because it was like, you know, my mom passed at the time, my dog passed, so it's like it was a lot going on. So I didn't want anything too crazy either. And my bank account was good. I got a nice severance, you know, from the job. I also had, you know, was getting the unemployment. My bank account was in a good place. So I was fine. So I was like, I had the time to like take the year kind of a sabbatically in a way, in the sense of like, not like I was away, but more so like I wasn't going to put in like full-time hours. You know what I mean? The first role I helped out do the website rebrand was a part-time role. The rate was very, very good, and I made some pretty good money off of that one as well. So that's when I was like, okay, I'll still use my expertise in that area. So mind you, I'm still interviewing, right? Because I still want to like land this role, my next role in fashion. Like, what can I do next? And the thing with fashion is like the promotions come from like relationships, right? So you're working there and then you get promoted from relationships more, as opposed to like, I think every company is like that, but you'll see some companies, you'll see like a director or like a senior manager, they'll have a posting up as opposed to promoting someone up into the role. So a lot of time when I see those roles, I don't even know if they're real, because a lot of times someone in a company is waiting to get promoted, but you have to put the role out to other people just to act like they're doing their due diligence. You know what I mean? So it can't look like it's just like that person got it. That's kind of like some HR stuff, but so that's here nor there. So I was like, okay, I'm just tired of going back and forth. Now, mind you, I already had it in my mind, like I already knew that I was going to do it my fashion boutique. That was very like day one. I knew that already. I knew that from a child. I was saying I'm going to have my fashion store, my fashion boutique. This and that, I'm going to be selling my clothes. And this is when I was talking about I wanted to have like a fashion boutique, a real boutique in person and an online. So I was just like, how New York is this and this and that. Everybody talk about it. You got to leave to do it, this and this and that. So I wound up staying. And then that's when it just so happened that more things were being sold online. So it kind of worked out in that sense. Now, since I wanted to do that, I was like, okay, I already ordered my stuff from the warehouse for my boutique. A lot of things that I ordered, it looked good online, as you guys know. And you know that with Amazon, like I think clothes is like returned the most. That's the thing with clothes. Like it's a lot behind it. Like it's a business that it's a lot behind it. So it gets returned the most. So basically the same thing happened to me. When I got the wholesale stuff in, you know, like the sample, you get one sample to your house. And I would say, this is my boutique, this is the vision I have, this and this and that. And you know, they'll publicize it as it's this, it's this, it's that. When they sent me some of the stuff that they were sending me, it was just like, are you kidding me? It looked nothing like the pictures that I was given. Nothing like it. So that's when I, you know, and I know that too from the business, because it's a lot of tricks and stuff when you are a fashion shoot. Like we have like clippers, you know, what is it called? The thing that you hold the garment together. You have that holding a mannequin, so it looks like it's a fitted dress. It's not really a fitted dress. If you walk behind her, that dress is not fitted. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of tricks that we do. That's part of the industry, which is fine, because that's how, like, that's part of like selling clothes. But the thing is that when I got that stuff to my house, I was like, no, I can't put my name behind this. Just because of my taste level, what I stand for, how the way I dress myself, my taste level, it's like, no, this doesn't look like anything that I would even put my name to. So I think I liked one outfit which I wore, and I think it's still on Poshmark. I even tried to sell the stuff from the boutique on Poshmark, and people just try to, you know, lowball me, this and this and that, think you desperate, but it's not that serious. I just put it out there. Anyway, so that's what led me to that. So the reason why I said yes to myself was in the sense of I already knew that I was like, okay, I want to start my fashion blog then. Since, you know, the doors in fashion are not really opening, or they opening part-time, it's not really hiring me full-time, this and this and that, even though I'm getting a little contracting gigs, this and this and that. My blog could just be something that I'm doing on the side, and that could be like my pet project that I like, you know, putting my creativity and my inspiration in there, because it's like you're waiting. Not Europe. I'm talking about me. I'm waiting for someone to open the door when God has already like given me everything I need, given me the gifts, and I just have to put it out there, and just need the patience to put it out there. So that was also a learning curve, and you will see the full blog article too on my website. Hold on. Sorry, I had to drink some water. You will see it also on my website. The whole blog and article that I talk about you don't need everything is set up to start where you are and all that kind of stuff. And I'm also recording this so that you know that when I first started my blog, I was sent to like a wrong website that wasn't really good for me. I was on there for a year wasting time, I had like maybe 5 or 6 articles already written. I had to then go like hire somebody from Fiverr, because then I took a blogging course, and the girl was like, oh no, you need to be on a WordPress site. That's the only way that you're going to be able to monetize later on. Now, of course, I didn't start a blog, my fashion blog, to monetize, but I know that monetization can come later on, because if you're doing what you're passionate about and you love it, of course the money's going to show up and the money's going to follow you. So I wasn't worried about that more so, but however, I did want to be on the right platform, so that way I can easily monetize. I can easily add the ads on it. I can easily add, my Pinterest to it, my photos and my images, and make it all make sense. So yeah, so that is on. You can read that on my website, the full blog article. So then I was like, I'm going to do the video, turn it into a video as well, just saying that what made me like say yes to starting my fashion blog when I wasn't getting the opportunities in fashion that I wanted to get at the time. Right now it's different, because I'm also going to be like putting together courses and all of that stuff for people that want to get into fashion or get promotion in it, just because I have like kind of know like the keys or like the pipeline of what needs to happen. So the jobs are there again right now, but it's like I'm kind of like over it right now, as far as like I'm loving my blog, I'm loving what it's turning into, I'm loving my creativity, I'm loving my writing, and like I said, it's July 1st. I wanted to record this anyway because I'm like, it's a good day. We're in July. 7 means new beginning, and it also means what do you need to start? What do you need to restart, pick back up? Sometimes you hear new and you think of like you starting a new project, and sometimes it's like, no, you need to maybe finish executing what you already said that you wanted to do already. And that's what 2026 has been for me. I said that this was my year of execution, because like I said, the first year of blogging and all that stuff was like me basically learning, and then I had to hire the guy I told you from Fiverr, because when I went to the WordPress site, they was like, oh, sign up now, you can start your new blog. I'm like, wait a minute, I can't bring over my old blogs. And he was like, oh no, you have to start from scratch. And I'm like, I'm not starting from scratch. That stuff was inspired. I feel like some of that stuff was divinely, dropped into me. I was in love with it, this and this and that. I had some good sayings on that, so I had to hire someone off of Fiverr, and he told me, website person, he told me that he can copy and paste on my blog, so he kept everything for me. He copied all my links, saved all my pictures, and he just revamped it and put it all on my new website. And that is the best investment I've made. That turned out to be a best investment, because you know what? I would have lost all of that content, and I still like it. Now later on, you can revamp it, and like I'll probably make it longer, make it to where like has to be a certain word count, which is fine, because I can write long, I can write short, like I can write whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's a creative gift of mine that I have in me anyway, especially anything that has to do with style. So yeah, so like I said, so this recording is more so for you to just, like I said, it's a new month. 7 means new beginning. What did you procrastinate about? Another thing is that I recorded this before, but it didn't kind of go through, but I wanted to share this as well. I originally had the name, there was a show out, Orange is the New Black, and I originally had the name on Facebook, and I was tagging everything and saying Orange is the New Black, and then I put it and I would say Fashion is the New Black. And I sat on that name for years. Throughout that whole time, Orange is the New Black was on. Years later, the guy, Cyrus, which I love his channel, the tech guy, he took that same thing and put Tech is the New Black. And he trademarked it. So it just shows you, like, I sat on something that, so when you, the point is that when you sit on something, someone else will execute the vision that you sat on. So this is also a clarion call for you guys to, like, do what you have to do and don't sit on something, because what you sit on, someone else would take and make it. And I guess it was meant to be, because he did trademark it, and his thing is doing really, really good. So it wasn't meant for me to Fashion is the New Black. But what I did is that I was like, okay, I love fashion. I also always love tech, like tech meaning I like learning new things, figuring new things out. Once you show me something as far as the system, I could look at it, maybe use it twice. By the third time, I could figure it out. Even like problems at work, when telling me to call IT, I'm on the phone too long. By the time they call me, I'll be like, oh, I figured that out already last week. And they'll be like, oh, okay, thank you. So it's like, no. You have everything inside of you that you need, that God already gave you. You don't have to wait for anyone to open the door. You can start building where you are. Like I say in my blog post, make sure you go over there and watch it. I'm going to pin it to the video as well, just so you can have it handy, but you can see like the written part of it and my creative process. But like, yeah, and just thinking like you need all this stuff to get started, when no, you just really need to start, and then you also need to commit and execute. And 2026 for me, I said, was the year of execution. Not just, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. I also got stuck with, like, you guys know I committed to like my YouTube channel this year. I want to start that as well. I don't really procrastinate on it for 2 years. It was more like I was getting caught up with like the editing and all this. Like, it's always something else that they want you to learn, and you got to figure it out. And it's like, okay, how many things can I do at once with holding down a job? So, just kept watching other videos, and then I just found people that made it simple and made it easy, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to execute. So that was a commitment that I did to myself. So you guys just have to make a decision, make up your mind. It's July, right? We're already halfway through the year. We're in the 7th month already. It's only 12 months in a year. So just get on whatever you have to do. If you like more content about fashion, the retail experience, buyers, sample coordinators, like I said, I'm going to be putting together a course about all of that stuff later on. And then my channel is also career strategy, how to move around, how to get promoted, all of that good stuff, as well as lifestyle, right? So that kind of goes together either way. But anyway, like, subscribe, share. I also recorded this as a video voice memo, so I can probably like share it maybe like on my LinkedIn, just some other places, and get more creative with creative ways to also like do my YouTube. I wanted my first set of videos to be like my content, as opposed to like, watching somebody else. Like, that's not really my style. I can learn from other people, but it's more like I'm going to do it my way, because that's a leader, so that's how that goes. But anyway, have a good one. Bye.